Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 17, the finale. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. So when the episode first opens up, we see Portia and Lauren. The mood is a little bit somber. They go over to Phaedra's house. Honey, she's wearing her bereaved bob. They go over there to discuss the funeral arrangements for Londi. So they're having a little drink. They're going to sit down. They're going to talk about what it is that they need to arrange in order for her to be laid to rest. So Portia is telling Phaedra how Lauren was actually on the phone with Londi when she passed. I do not even know how she is still standing, because my heart would be completely broken. When I tell you Lauren be going through so much, she is so strong. I hope somebody is checking in on her, because I know that she's the support system for Portia, but I'm hoping that people are checking in on her too, because I know that had to be hard. So Portia is telling Phaedra that, you know, that's how she found out. She was at work. She got a call that Londi was in distress. And then shortly thereafter, she had transitioned. So they sit down, they're about to eat some food, and they realize that it's like butterflies on the plate. And they've been seeing butterflies a lot, you know, since she passed. So Phaedra was asking her if any of the ladies had reached out to her. Of course they did. Phaedra said, you know, since Londi liked butterflies, maybe they can do a butterfly release. I just feel so bad for their family. I mean, they had a little funny moment in between, but this was just so sad. My condolences again to Portia and her family. Moving forward. In the next scene, Angela goes to see her therapist, Wendy. Hey, Miss Wendy. So she's saying, you know, she needs to get some advice on how to deal with Charles and all of his greatness. Okay, because he's this, that, and this, and all the women's want Charles. Baby, now I can only speak for me, but I don't give a damn about Charles Oakley. Girl, I be getting his name wrong. I be calling him Charles Barkley. I don't mean no disrespect, but honey, I cannot get that man's name right to save my life. But anywho, she needs some advice on all his greatness, because the women's be all over him. And she said that they've been seeing Wendy since 2017. So she sits down, she starts telling her about how she has these houses for sale and how she doesn't even care about the houses anymore. They can go, because it's drawing a wedge between her and Charles. Basically, Charles is tired of putting money into the homes, and yeah, the well has run dry. I'm not giving damn mo dime. Okay, so I don't know what you gonna do. You didn't put them on the show like you were supposed to put them on the show. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. So I'm not giving you no more money. So you're gonna have to figure out what you're gonna do with these houses, okay? Because I can't pay the $5. Moving forward. So then she starts to tell the therapist about the foolery that happened at Williams-Sonoma at Kelly's event, and how Charles told her that he feels like it was a plot and a scheme and a setup. And she said, you know, I just started trusting him. And now that I trust him, you know, because he asked me, you know, do you trust me? Because this was a setup. She said it took a while to get to that place, but now she does, in fact, trust him. And she does not want people coming for her marriage. And rightfully so. Like, I just integrated into this circle. That's why she probably stayed in her little bubble. And when they approached her in past seasons, she was like, we're not quite ready yet. Okay, nope. Let's let him get his mind right just a little bit longer, and then we'll pop out. And now you've popped out, and these people are coming out of the woodworks to try to destroy your marriage. Honey, it's barely hanging on by a thread as is. Now, she's upset because after, you know, the whole thing went on, both her and Charles were confused as to why somebody would want to hurt them. Like, why are y'all trying to ruin our marriage? Girl, that's what they do. You need to understand that this is only going to get worse. This is just the tip of the iceberg. This right here is the appetizer. Baby, wait till they bring out the main dish. Okay, this right here ain't nothing. It really is not. So she's upset, and she wants to know why they want to hurt her. It's because they're miserable. The cameras bring out the worst in these fame-chasing morons. It is what it is, child. So she was like, you know what? I'm going to get down to the bottom of it, okay? So they know to leave me the alone. And that's just that on that. Now, I have to say that I did love seeing Angela with a therapist other than Dr. Sherry. Like, I don't mind the Atlanta hot therapists and the Atlanta hot lawyers, but it was something about seeing Kenya with a different attorney and seeing Angela with a different therapist that I liked. I feel like they're not made for TV. It felt real and raw. But maybe that's just me, but that's just my personal preference. I don't want to see people that I've always seen. Like, let's unlock a new character. It's like they be having the same 5 people rotating on every Atlanta show, and I don't want it. And I could tell that she really does trust the guidance that her therapist gives her. So for me, I enjoyed this scene. In the next scene, Shamia is performing her new song. She's doing, songs, with an S, at a showcase. And so all the ladies are invited. You got Cynthia, Drew, and Phaedra. They arrive first. Drew, baby, I'm glad you're on time. Okay, I'm so proud of you. Honey, shout out to Drake. Kelly and Britt, they're also there, and it's the first time they've seen each other since they were acting a fool down in the vault. So Kelly is still choosing to ignore, Britt, which is probably for the best because we don't have time for that. Cynthia leaves because she has to catch a flight. She's going to New York, and Angela arrived last. So they're all sitting there waiting for Shamia to come out and hit that note and whatnot. But Drew, I got to say this to you. You were being a little bit too critical, okay? Girl, talking about, she needs to go back and rehearse. Girl, she's nervous, okay? And don't do that, because let us not forget when you opened for Candace and they let your mic come on and turn right back off 5 seconds later. Honey, you didn't even get out of shoo up. All you got was shoo, and they cut you off. So please don't start, girl. Please don't. Now, that was the first song, but she did do well with the T-shirt song. You got to warm your vocals up. Maybe she didn't have a rehearsal and whatnot. Just leave the lady alone. I see they got Miss Pat. She's the MC. Baby, all the Atlanta heavy hitters are in the building. And baby, Shamia did a whole concert. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a little acoustics, and she was going to sit down in a seat and sing in the background. But no, baby, she was performing. Husband was in the crowd. She was really putting on a show. I loved it. I personally loved it. Here go Britt talking about, I'm going to give her an E for effort. What have you done? Huh? What have you done lately? Because I don't see anything that you've ever done that would even allow us to give you an E for effort. I hate when y'all do this. I hate when y'all shade each other unnecessarily, because this is the thing. When each one of you are showcasing your talents or your passions, just support each other. It costs nothing. So now you sitting up here being shady, talking about, I give her an E for effort. And then Drew, girl, okay, I like you, but I ain't like that. Sitting up there talking about, ooh, she had her mic on. It should have been off. Shamia can sing, so please don't do that. Okay? Please don't. She shaded you. I got her all the way together. You shaded her. I'm getting you all the way together. And y'all get yourselves together, because y'all starting to piss me off. Moving forward. So they all go to the back after the show and whatnot. And Angela is like, well, did y'all get, my invite to the gala? So the Charles Oakley Foundation is throwing a gala, and the goal is to feed 100,000 people. So Kelly said, well, maybe we can post it. Here go Drew talking about, how many followers do you have? Kelly said, like 150. Drew said 150,000. Here go Britt. Yeah, they're fake followers, because she grew like 80,000 followers in one day. Girl, not you accusing Kelly of buying her followers, honey. She wouldn't be the first, because a lot of these blue check marks have 0 engagement. That's how you can tell when somebody lying. Even if you look at somebody's channel, their TikTok, anything, if you look at it, okay, let's break the numbers down. Okay, because let's just break the numbers down. I have 47,000 subscribers. I have an average viewing number of 20,000 views. Everybody's not going to watch every video that you post. They're not. Some people subscribe to you for a certain show. If you don't review that show, then they're a no-show. Some people just stop in to say hi, they leave a heart, and they go. But if I had 47,000 subscribers and only 2,000 views on every video, it's looking like a lie. Okay, it's just looking like a lie. And let's not get into the engagement, because a lot of these people with these blue check marks on Instagram, their engagement is like 7 or 8 comments. Sometimes I go to the comments and I'm like, not 32 comments. Baby, where are your people? So, she could have very well bought it, honey, but she ain't the first and she ain't gonna be the last. Moving forward. Baby, Britt is hell. Do you hear me? She is hell. So they're doing this talking back and forth and back. And Shamia's sweet little baby Shia, she was there just a watching. Somebody get that sweet baby out of here. And girl, do not look at these ladies as an example of what to do. Okay, look at these ladies as an example of what not to do. Y'all please give it a rest. Just stop. So Shamea came back to talk to the ladies. She thanked them for coming and supporting her. And the ladies, they leave, but Britt, she stayed behind, so she could talk to Shamea. So Shamea was telling her that Cynthia told her that Britt was telling Portia that she was still talking mess about her. Britt said, well, you did say that. That's what you said. Shamea's like, girl, you are lying. Okay, I did not tell you any of that. You're lying on me. She said, Shamea, you did say that. You said Portia was not a good friend and other things. You said it. Now, Shamea claims that she never showed Britt or Kelly anything about Portia. Shamea, maybe you need to stay in the house, because every time you go out with somebody, they say that you show them something or you talk bad about Portia. So maybe you need to stay in the house. Okay, stay down to the hall, because you don't know how to be a friend when you get out in public. Okay, and if you can't handle your liquor, then you shouldn't be drinking, because I just don't understand what the problem is. Now, Shamea's like, well, you must be jealous of me and Kelly's friendship. And I feel like that's true too. So then Shamea says, well, I understand why you can't take shots, because you do get bare and naked. Now, she didn't say bare and naked. I did. But she did say she gets naked. But what does that have to do with this? What does her taking a shot and taking her top off have to do with you bad-mouthing Portia to Britt and Kelly? Huh? It's giving deflection. What does that have to do with it? You say what now? Oh, okay. So then Britt said, yeah, I did. I did do that. Shamea said, oh, you know what? Thank you so much for wearing clothes. Thank you so much for wearing clothes tonight. Britt said something about Shamea seeing her daughter. She was like, well, did you see your daughter when you went to Miami? Because you were popping shots. Okay. And you were doing all that crying and talking about all of that. Was that even real? Shamea said, okay, at least I'm not popping pills. Britt said, okay, so were you lying about what your daughter was going through? Listen to me. Asking if she was with her child, or if, what she was saying is true, and accusing her of lying about what she was going through with the baby. That's crazy. Okay, that's crazy. And Britt, you better be glad it was Shamea, because if it were Kenya or Portia, baby, that whole scene would have went different. Girl, it is not right to judge somebody's parenting. You better get yourself together, honey. Now, don't get it confused, because I don't want anybody to be, confused as to what's going on. I believe that Shamea showed them those text messages. Otherwise, Portia would not have been able to correct her and say, no, it was the therapist. It was not the attorney. Because remember, Portia corrected it in the confessional. So she definitely did show the text messages. Shamea, baby, you are not the friend that you claim to be, because everybody can't be lying on you. Okay, they just cannot. And two things can be true. Britt told Portia what she told her because she was jealous of y'all getting closer in Grenada and dressing like the Claremont twins. That is the truth. And Shamea, you be talking about Portia behind her back, and you showed those text messages, those private text messages. You are not a good friend like you pretend to be. And that's just that on that. In the next scene, they show a montage of the ladies. Kelly is at home with the girls. Ralph is asking for permission to come from under the stairs. Britt is playing on these people's plane. Girl gone. Kelly is at home with her girls, right? And so she's making breakfast. Her sister is there as well. And they start talking about the Sandy Springs location for Nana's Chicken and Waffles. Look, with everything that's going on, Kelly said that things are not moving like she wanted them to move, because she does not want this man to try to come in and take what she worked so hard for. So she's like, yeah, no, I'm not in a rush to get Sandy Springs off the ground. Over on the other side of the A, Ralph is upstairs. Sir, why are you above ground? You asked for permission and Drew let you come up, child. So anywho, we got to look at Ralph with his old flathead self. Ralph is upstairs, and for some reason, now he wants to ask, how did we get here? You don't know? You don't know how y'all got here. So Ralph is talking to her about how the judge ordered him that he can't be around the kids Monday through Friday, and he can't even take them to school. You just couldn't wait to say that out loud, huh? And why is that? Because the judges push for the dads to be involved. So if they said that you cannot be around the children Monday through Friday or take them to school, it's got to be a reason. Now, Drew did tell him, she said, you can ask for permission because they're your kids too. I don't want to keep them from their dad. And I feel like this conversation and his actions on social media do not align. They don't add up. 1 and 1 is given 17. Okay. And you need to learn how to regulate your damn emotions, Ralph. You really do. That's why the judge ordered what the judge ordered. And I'm sure those screenshots that you posted, they don't help you. I'm pretty sure they don't help. Ralph, please go away from me with this, child. It's the last episode. Just rest. Okay? Rest. In the next scene, Phaedra and Check, I think his name is Check, or is it? Because they was calling him Shay Shay. I'm like, when did he start getting called Shay Shay? Because I'm on Married to Medicine, I could have sworn they called him Check. So I'm going to call him Check because his mama called him Check. So anywho, over on the other side, Phaedra and Check arrived at Chateau Elan. Now, do y'all remember Chateau Elan? Remember when Nene had that dinner season 13 at Chateau Elan and we got introduced to Yovana from Clark, CAU? Y'all remember? Baby, I ain't gonna never forget it. Y'all know I always pull something out. I know y'all remember that. That's where they were. They were at Chateau Elan. Child, Phaedra still pretending with this man, honey, down at this here winery. They're on a cute little date, though. So, child, I'm gonna let her live. She's telling him about the gala and how Angela and Charles are having one and how she wants him to attend. And, of course, y'all know he said he's gonna be there, child. Moving forward. In the next scene, Britt and her family dynamic, they're at the house. Now, her mom has officially moved in and all the family will be coming together. The sisters, they kids, Mike's family, their children, everybody. She said they got married during COVID, so her mom didn't get a chance to be around the rest of Mike's family. But I'm like, ma'am, it's 2025. But okay, honey, let's just get the scene done, child. Let's just get the scene done. They sat down, they ate, drank, and they were merry. Britt thanked them for coming. Thanks for coming. She thanked them for coming. And then she kind of like tried to trick them like she was pregnant, which I thought she was going to really announce that she was pregnant. She would look cute pregnant, you know, because when she did her shirt like that, I was like, oh, she going to be cute. But anywho, she wasn't pregnant for real. But she was just telling them that her and Mike are planning a big ceremony and they want all of them to come. Now, I thought the scene was nice. Okay, wasn't a lot of talking going on, which was fine with me. It was just a bunch of scenes moving. It was fine. I thought it was nice and I thought it was sweet that her sweet grandmother was there. May she rest in peace, because y'all know she just recently lost her grandmother. So my condolences to you, Britt. And I like family scenes. To me, it was nice to see them all together and getting along. Now that husband of hers, y'all know he always giving preoccupied, like something else is on his mind. But I liked the scene. I really did. In the next scene, baby, it's the night of Angela's gala. The Charles Oakley Foundation is coming together for a good cause. Now, they focus on making sure that the community is fed. Tonight, their goal is to raise $50,000. So the ladies start to arrive. Everybody's looking nice. We see Angela and she's calling Drew. She tells us that her and Drew met with Mr. Marcus and she knows that he did not act alone. On the phone, she tells Drew, you know, I don't know what I did to provoke that, but we gonna get down to the bottom of it tonight. So then Portia arrived. Hey, girl, you are looking fabulous, honey. You know how to do a gown, honey. The heifers can't touch you when it comes to a gown. You know you going to put that on, okay? You look good. So they sit down at the table, and Britt tells Portia, you know, Shamia's mad at me. Girl, now is not the time for this, okay? This lady just lost her cousin, and this is a charitable event. We don't give a damn, okay? The gala is underway, right? Charles and Angela are up there speaking their speech. Angela announces that the Charles Oakley Foundation would like to honor Portia and her cousin Londi. So Portia comes up, you know, she gives a speech and she talks about how great Londi is. And y'all know Portia is no stranger to this because of her grandfather, Hosea Williams. And I think it was really special for them to honor her late cousin as well. That was very thoughtful. It reminded me of when Cynthia and Peter threw that event and they honored Candy. Because y'all know, you know, Peter was working with, is it The Source magazine? Yeah, The Source magazine. And they had this big musical event and Candy was honored. That kind of is what this reminded me of. So as it went on, you know, everything's going on. The event is happening. And Portia started to get really emotional. And of course, and all of the ladies, they gathered around her to make sure she was held up. And, you know, they just wanted to make sure that she was okay in that moment, because to have to push through and come and sit in these scenes and you just lost somebody super close to you, that's got to be hard. Baby, they be looking for me in the daytime with a flashlight. I'm going to tell you right now. Because I ain't coming. Okay? And I bet not get fined. This is my thing. Okay? And y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Or what you think. Y'all tell me what you think. In the confessional, I was a little bit confused as to how Shamea made that a moment about her being a friend to Portia. Girl, every time, you do not have to run down everything. I sent flowers. I called because we're family. No matter what Portia goes through, I make sure I get crazy. I get like, girl, we got it. It's all about you. It's all about me. Forget about you. Shout out to Maya. Girl, why do you keep doing that? I don't know. Something about that just rubbed me the wrong way. Because it's like Portia is having a moment. We didn't even need to cut to Shamea. Okay? Now, I'm sure the production was like, well, why were you there for? I don't even know why they would even ask that. We didn't have to cut to Shamea. I go back to my original statement. This was not a moment about you. She's choked up. We know what she's going through. So let's just let that moment be the moment. I just feel like it's both of them. At first, I was like, Portia be tripping and she's not a good friend and she did this and she did that. No, Shamea plays a part as well. Okay, she always tries to prove to everybody how great of a friend she is, but we clearly see that there's a pattern. And of course, Portia was in that scene, season 9 with Phaedra when Phaedra said that, Shamea was doing whatever. I get it. I understand. And there are times when Portia has not been the greatest friend, but it's not a one-sided thing. I think they both have things that they need to work on. And Shamea, you'll be dogging that lady out when ain't nobody paying attention. Okay, so, for me, getting in a confessional and constantly telling me what you do for your friend, okay, girl. So while all this is going on, we see Drew and she gets a text message that the man that was there at Kelly's event is now there at Angela's event. So Angela sits all the ladies down and she wants to talk to them, to tell them about that thirsty man coming up to her at Kelly's event. She's like, yeah, I thought it was just really strange how Kelly did a shot with him. So Portia says, so are you questioning Kelly? Let me tell you something. I'm questioning everybody until I get down to the bottom of who sent you. Okay? That's what I want to know. Who sent you? So yes, I'm questioning Kelly. And Kelly is looking at her like, and I say, well, now, girl, I would never do that. So then she tells us, she's like, yeah, I think it was Britt. Okay, so Kelly thinks it's Britt. And Britt said, girl, I am a married woman. I would never sabotage you, because Angela is now questioning Britt. But did y'all see how Kelly nudged Shamea when Britt said I would never do that? She was like, yeah, right. And y'all know what this reminded me of? Because everything reminds me of something, very much something. This reminds me of when Martin was trying to find out who stole his CD player. This reminds me of when Martin was trying to find out who stole his CD player. And he had everybody show up there, and it was a stormy night in Detroit, honey. And they were wearing all black like the Omen, sitting around that circle table. And he jumped over that damn dog that wasn't a real dog to my roop, 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 roop. And then he turned to Cole, because Cole was finna get ready to get up, because Cole said, look, I'm innocent. And he looked at Cole and he said, sit your $5 down before I make change. Baby, when I tell you this scene reminded me of that, I said, Angela, leave these ladies alone. Baby, this was so funny to me, because that's all I could think about was when Martin had them sitting at that damn table. And he looked at Gina. He said, why would you steal from me? I would have given you hips if I could have, baby. Baby, I hollered. Y'all, child, my mind works in mysterious ways, honey. Just stay with me. Moving forward. Here go Portia talking about, why would she bring this man here to talk to the group about her man cheating? It just don't make no sense. Portia, not a lot of things make sense to you, honey, but this makes perfect sense to me, because you need to get down to the exposing. Okay, don't play in my damn face and think you're going to tear my marriage up or the remnants of my marriage, and I ain't going to say nothing. So yes, bring him here, sit him in front of the group, and tell us who sent you. So then the man, he come traipsing over there. Baby, Charles went straight NBA. He ran defense. Is it defense, offense? Which one is it? Is it defense? He did something. He came in to try to stop him. So defense, okay? So he came in and he was like, no, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. Okay, that man got to go. I don't know who sent him. I don't know why he's here, but he has to go. So then Angela starts yelling, trust me, trust me. So baby, they making a full on scene down to the foundation. So baby, the gala is done. Angela yelling, trust me. She's like, let him cook. Okay, she didn't say that, but I feel like she should have. Shout out to Glorilla. I feel like she should have said it, but she did say, let him say it, just trust me. Angela wants him to say who told her. So they're all like, what is going on? So then they were like, well, he's called the enforcer and he's about to enforce something right now. So that man need to get somewhere and sit down. So the man is over there trying to explain himself. I apologize to you and Angela. I apologized. Charles let the man stay to speak his speech and he sits down. So Angela wanted to know who in the group had an issue. She's like, I don't know who I pissed off, but I want to know. Angela told him to say the name and he looks and he says Phaedra. Now, mind y'all, since this has aired, this man has got on social media and lied and said that Angela doesn't know him and he never said Phaedra, like we weren't going to see this entire episode. He might be mentally unstable. And I said on my Patreon, and shout out to y'all, that they need to keep these nobodies away from these women. That's a security breach. Do not bring regular, schmegular, degular people around the housewives. You don't need to do that because then you get this. Okay, like what is this? Now he says that Phaedra is the godfather of Atlanta. When I tell y'all I cackled so loud, the godfather of Atlanta? Really? He was like, yeah, she controls Atlanta. So all the ladies are looking like, now why would Phaedra do this? Okay, like that doesn't even make sense. Portia's like, she just got here. And Portia said, I feel like it's a plot and a scheme that Todd set up. But when they played this episode, Sweet Aunt Bertha, baby, I hollered. Aunt Bertha, you need to start charging them people when they play your clip. Because that's the most iconic thing to come from the OLG. You need to make sure that you're getting your coins, honey. Because I still spin around in my chair to this day in honor of Aunt Bertha. Do you hear me? So Portia was like, yeah, Todd, I don't know where you at, but you had something to do with it. Then Phaedra gets in a confessional and she's like, yeah, I'm just an easy target. Okay, I don't know this man from a can of paint. So then he says, well, Phaedra dropped an envelope to me in Phipps Plaza with the information. We need to get the mall security footage then. Is Phipps Plaza a mall? Is it a strip center? Because they should have cameras. Where did she drop off an envelope? Because I need to see it. So then Portia says that Phaedra has been framed. And girl, not who framed Roger Rabbit. Girl gone. He says, well, we had a connect. They were like, who? What's the name of the connect? Y'all, good old Junebug. Not Junebug. Baby, what in the Quan Mills novel is happening here? What are y'all talking about? Not some damn Junebug. I said, okay, let me just sit here and listen, y'all, because what is going on? So after that mess, he gonna get up and sashay away. No, sir. You done came in here and dropped the bomb and now you gonna walk away? Oh, baby, they doing anything on this episode. Do you hear me? Phaedra wants to know, now, why would I do that? Okay? Like, why would I do that to you? Angela said, could it be because you're jealous? Because I have a marriage? I have a ring? Child, nobody want Charles Barkley. What's his name? Nobody want Charles Oakley, honey. Trust me. Okay? She didn't even want her own marriage. She left Apollo by himself to his own devices when he was getting ready to go asunder. So why would she want your man? Okay? And she didn't even care about her own. Moving forward. So then Phaedra says that Angela is deflecting. Angela says that I liked you. And then Phaedra was like, I thought I liked you. And then she said, well, you know what? This is what Angela said. In The Godfather, it states that be very weary of the person that brings you the information, and you brought it all to me. Now, this is what Angela said went down, y'all. This is what she said. She said that Phaedra called her. And, she was trying to act like she was just now remembering where she knew this man from. She gave his first name, his last name, where he works, all of that. So then Phaedra looks at Angela and says that the man introduced himself in front of us. Did he? I don't remember first and last name. I don't remember that. So you gonna sit there and act like you didn't call this lady? Phaedra was like, well, it's not me. I don't know him. But the real culprit is the one who made the guest list. No, it's not, Phaedra. The real culprit is the one who gave him the information to bring to this married woman. That's the culprit. And is it you? Is it a coincidence that this man says he knows you and you're saying that you don't know him? And she says that you called her and you're acting like you heard the name when he introduced himself. And I don't remember him saying his first and last name. So she was like, I wouldn't do that after all that I've been through with this group. Are you crazy? Listen to me. Y'all can believe whatever y'all want to believe. But for me, this seems like something that she's very well capable of doing, allegedly, because Phaedra can lie with a straight face. She sat right there in Hawaii and watched that lady cry. Phaedra, you know I wouldn't do nothing about no drugs or nothing. She sat right there and let that lady cry, knowing full well that she told Portia the rumor that Portia repeated. So I don't put it past her. And she was sitting there making them same faces, just sitting there looking. But, I guess. And then they came with the most around the way country shade tree mechanic name they could find, Junebug. Okay. Okay. Phaedra said, but you're in foreclosure. How about that? Ma'am. Now, it's been said before that you go and do all your researching and this, that, and this, and this right here is giving straight up deflection. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. What does her being in foreclosure have to do with this? Now, if that don't tell you that maybe you had something against her, because why are you sitting up researching her in her personal business? Okay, some could say, well, she don't know the lady, so she Googled them. Enough to find out that she was in foreclosure? And it's not a secret, like Angela said. She's like, girl, that's not a secret. So now they going back and forth and back. Then out of left field, Angela says, well, do you let your kids see their father? Now, what does her children have to do with this? And I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Britt. Leave those babies out of this debacle. They ain't got nothing to do with this. Like, if y'all need to cut this low, then maybe y'all need to figure out better reads, because this just don't make no sense. It's going so low, and all of y'all are mentioning kids, and it's just too much. It's just too much. So Shamia was like, I think that it was Britt. Of course you do, because you're mad that she told Portia that you showed those text messages. So of course you do, ma'am. So then Kelly says, I really think that it's Britt. She's the one that will do that because that's her level of petty. And again, it's a lot of people in this group that should get the side eye. A lot. Okay. And I don't put nothing past nobody. Now, I did peep how as soon as he said Phaedra's name, Britt said, she didn't do that. And I was just thinking, how would you know? Huh? How would you know if she did that? That was very suspicious to me. That she just up and, well, she didn't do that in defense of Phaedra like you knew for sure. If she didn't do it, then did you do it? Because I might need to take it back. So then Portia gets in the confessional. She says, I think Angela did that to herself. Angela set this up to embarrass herself. That is insane. If that man came to lie on Phaedra, I want to see a defamation suit. Because if I'm innocent, anybody that lie on me and potentially lose me my job for a second time, they going to have to pay. I don't care if he doesn't have money, because I know it's going to be somebody, she ain't going to get nothing. It's not about that. It's about the principle. Off GP, you're going to have to see me, because there is no reason that you should throw my name out in something I'm not a part of. And now he online lying, honey. And really and truly, this whole messy man wanted a moment, and he tried to figure out how to get the moment. And he done used every last one of y'all, Angela, Phaedra, and 5 minutes to get on TV. Like, it's just a fool. But again, Phaedra, the high-class attorney, if this man is lying, then put it on his doorstep. A cease and desist. A stop and don't do it no more. A defamation suit. I want to see something. Okay? I want to see something. So then Angela wrapped it up, honey, or I thought she wrapped it up. And Kelly yells out, nobody telling the truth these days. And then they start giving the end cards. So Kelly's end card reads, after 3 years, Kelly finally closed the doors on her marriage in September of 2024. She's preparing to open a new Nana's Chicken and Waffle in Sandy Springs sometime in the summer of 2025. Now, y'all let me know if it's open or not, okay? And she'll be checking the guest list for the grand opening twice. So then Shamia says, well, somebody brought up my kid the other day. Kelly said, brought up your kid about what? Shamia said, oh, well, this one over here said I was faking that she was sick. So then Britt gonna say, No, I didn't say that. I said when you got to Miami, you were quick to take a shot and hang with Kelly. Ma'am, actually, you did say that. You said she was faking it. Girl, quit trying to gaslight me. You said, were you faking the whole thing because you were doing all that crying, but then you were popping shots with Kelly? You just said that like 5 minutes ago. So then Portia was like, well, what did you do? What did she say? Shamia said, I walked away because I was finna get ready to beat her behind. Now, as all this is going on, Angela and them hands of hers, honey, because you know she be talking with them hands. Angela and them hands of hers are still addressing Phaedra. Ma'am, please. Okay, another fight has broken out. We don't need that right now. We focusing over here with Brittany her line nasal passage. Let's just focus on that, okay? It's too much going on, child. I'm so overstimulated. I didn't know what to do, honey. I'm glad I went there. Britt said, well, is that a threat? And then Shamia says, no, but that's what you do. You threaten people with GUNs. But you know what? It's so funny to me that now, Shamia, you want to bring that up. But when it happened, y'all just brushed on past it. Like what she said to Kenya didn't make no difference. You were acting like, oh, it's no big deal. Just apologize. She'll be fine. But now that you're mad with her, let's bring it up. Girl gone. Britt then gets up and she's like, these girls are low lives. I don't want to do this anymore. Take this off of me. Girl, bye. Don't let the doorknob hit you with a good Lord split you. So her end card reads, Britt is using her clean slate to open a new insurance agency. She's also working hard to release Bare and Naked so people can be as snatched as her. Okay, girl, it's giving Sheba Sheree meets Neverland. Okay? It's Neverland. When I see something there, it'll be Chateau Sheree. But for right now, it's Neverland. But your end card should have read, she skedaddled from the reunion and decided not to come and face the music. Now she's suing for 20 mil. Girl, bye. Moving forward. So Drew's like, I think we're done here. So then they wrapped Drew on up, honey, because she ain't said nothing but just sat there and looked the whole time. Her end card read, her album I Did It To Me released March 2025. And while her music career is on a high, her relationship with Ralph is still on a low as he continues to live in the basement. The divorce is nowhere in sight. Okay, the end of it is nowhere near. So now Shamia is still yelling, honey, because y'all know she's guilty. She's still yelling and whatnot. And her end card reads, baby Shiloh continues to make progress. Oh, that's good. They have a new surrogate and they hope to welcome a baby boy soon. And Never Had was released March of 2025. And she hopes that listeners don't talk over it this time. Honey, shout out to Portia. Moving forward. So Angela goes up to Phaedra and she thanks Phaedra for her introduction into the group. Phaedra just standing there smiling like a Cheshire cat. These helpers crazy. And then they show her end card. Phaedra is booked and busy adding more jobs to her resume until her boys retire her. Her chocolate prince, Shay Shay, is still satisfying her sweet tooth. And who is Mr. Chocolate, the man that you've been sleeping with? So then Angela's end card says she sold 3 houses. She lost 2. She's staying cool under pressure with her next business venture, Fangie. Oh, okay, honey, y'all gonna be able to buy a Fangie. No word on when her and Charles will renew their vows. Honey, I ain't gonna have them, Captain. Now, over on the other side, while all the end cards are being shown and whatnot, Cynthia, Portia, and Phaedra, they're over there talking about Shamia and Portia. So Cynthia is telling Portia, I told Shamia what Britt had told you. And Portia was like, well, why would you do that? Okay, like, what are you talking about, girl? Listen, if she feel comfortable enough to get with Britt and Kelly and talk her, that's cool. Okay, that's what they do. I'm not moving any differently with Shamia. I'm cool on that. Girl, I'm 43 years old. I got a child. I got stuff going on, child. I don't care what Shamia does with them girls. I really don't. Yeah, 50 Cent, you talk too much. Like, girl, stop telling everything. Just please. Like, Portia knows she ain't gonna get no more tea if you go over there revealing that she got the tea. So then after they got done with that, Cynthia was like, well, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said nothing. 5 months later, we see Portia at the house. Finally, okay? We see Portia at the house formerly known as Portia and Simon's house. Now just Portia's house. She's on the treadmill, honey, playing in our face. I'm like, girl, get off that treadmill. Had on a full face of makeup. Probably was on that treadmill for 5 minutes. So she gets off and then the scene switches and we see that it's Christmas time. So her and her mom, they're sitting there, they're talking, and she's telling her that they finally have a court date, and she's hoping that the judge is going to go ahead and enforce the prenup. And we all know that they did. And her end card read, Simon was detained in February of 2025, leaving the divorce on ice. I said, oh, baby, the shade. And that was the end of the season. Listen, I didn't quite feel like it gave finale. I was a little underwhelmed at times. I mean, they pulled it off. They did. They pulled it off. And I know that the climax was the whole sit down with this old messy man, but this man is a kook. Okay, Angela, stay away from this man. This man is dangerous. I don't know if he lying, if he telling the truth. Stay away from him. If you know what you and Charles got going on, you know what you and Charles got going on. Let this man do him away from you. And I can't wait to see y'all at the reunion so we can get into what was in that manila folder that you pulled from behind that couch. Because, baby, I can't wait to see it go down. Y'all comment down below. Tell me what you would rate the season. It might have not been the greatest season, but I can think of a worse season. And I'm going to keep it to myself, okay? And y'all comment down below. Tell me exactly what you thought about season 16 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.